Sitting there talking with Seth. I've got a question that just came in, and the question is: if I already own a home and have a VA loan, can I refinance to get cash out for the home improvements and to consolidate debt? And if so, how does it work?
That's a really good question as well. You know, that is being used a lot more right now. People's, income, wages aren't increasing like inflation is, right? So
Right.
there's a lot of stuff going on to credit cards, not purposefully, but just stuff, life happens, right? And
Right.
when it costs more, it costs more. So there's a lot more credit card debt out there. But the good news is people are gaining equity in their homes because we're not losing any equity in homes right now. It is still, um, it's still either flat or it's increasing your home value. So yes, you can definitely do a cash out loan with a VA loan.
Okay.
Except in Texas, they don't.
What?
Yeah, they don't allow VA cash out loans in Texas. So it's a weird deal. But yeah, they don't allow them because it's just, I shouldn't say that. You can still do one. It's just a little more complicated. So call me about that if you live in Texas and you want to do it. Call me. We'll figure it out. But there are ways to do it. But yes. But to go into a little more detail, VA cash out refinance. Basically, what you do is you take your debt and you pay it off. Or if you need to do a home improvement, right, you just get an idea of what you want cash wise. Well, you don't want to go over 90% loan to value. Okay, that's kind of VA's cutoff. Now,
Okay.
they'll allow you to go up to 100%. You can finance up to 100% of your value if you really need it, right? But your rate's going to take a big hit from 90 to 100. So if you go to 91%, it's going to be a much higher rate than at 90%. So you want to keep your loan to value at 90% when you do a cash out refinance. That's what I tell people for the most part, just because it's about 1% difference in rate. I mean, it's a substantial difference.
Yeah, it is.
So you really want to stay at the 90% loan to value range. But yes, if you've got the equity in your home, you definitely do a VA cash out. I mean, right now rates are pretty high, and a lot of people have these, 3% VA rates, right? So they don't want to mess with them. But when you do a blended rate, which is something that people don't talk about, right? So blended rate would be all your rates on your credit cards, your second mortgage, whatever debt you have, right? If they're at 19, 20, 30%, which a lot of debt can be right now, if they're at that high of an interest rate and it's, $100,000 in debt and you've got only $200,000 at 3%, well, that blended rate's going to start creeping into the 9-10% range, So it's probably worth it to do a cash out refinance right now, even at a 6% rate or whatever it is, right?
Interesting.
So you have to kind of, don't just assume that your 3% rate what you need to hold on to, right? You need to talk to a professional about, hey, what's my blended rate? How does this work? Like I have 5 credit cards at 19% interest that are $20,000 worth, right? I owe $250 on my mortgage at 3%. I need 50 grand for home improvements also. Like, where are you going to get that 50 grand for 6%? You're not. You're going to get it for 11, 12, 13% on a second mortgage, right? So so you have to kind of weigh it out, and we can go over the different, how much it's going to save you to do a VA cash out loan as opposed to keeping those loans and getting the other home improvement loan or whatever. So that's a great question, and honestly, it's not a one size fits all, right? It's call, let's discuss it, let's see what works best for you, but don't discount it because you have a 3% rate. Do not. You should definitely reach out. So
And yeah, reach out to an expert like yourself, right?
right.